Okay, so that's just preparing the live stream. So we'll be live in a few seconds. Okay, so that's live now. Good afternoon. Welcome to this Healthwatch Bury live session. Today we're live with Boobs in Bury, and we're joined by Kerry and Kimberly from Boobs in Bury. And today I'm also joined by my new assistant, Steph, who will be hosting the Q&A session today. So I'm just going to load up my introductory slides. So I'm just going to start by going through our live streaming guidelines. So this session is streamed live to our Facebook page. And remember that this is a public space. So remember, if you're commenting, other people can see what you're posting there. So remember to be accepting and respect people's boundaries and watch any language that you're using. And we do moderate the comments on these live streams and also the recordings of these sessions as well. So today we will be uploading this video to our YouTube channel afterwards. Remember, don't flood the chat. If you do have a question, you can just pop it below. We'll get to it in the Q&A portion. It's not a space to promote your products or your business. And remember, it is a public space for all ages, so be mindful of the language that you're using. So just a quick overview of today's session. So I'm going to start with introduction to Healthwatch Bury, who we are, what we do, if you've not heard of us before. And then Boobs in Bury have a nice presentation for you. I'm going to tell you more about what they do. And then we'll have a Q&A, which is going to be hosted by Steph. So if you have any questions for that, please comment them below. So who are we? We are Healthwatch Bury, and we're a local health watch. We cover all 6 townships of Bury, and we're your local health and social care champion. So we make sure that local NHS leaders and other decision makers hear your views on services in Bury with the aim of improving them. So you can share your experiences with us via phone, email, or you can even attend one of our drop-in sessions. And we're hoping to get back out there around Bury doing some drop-ins very soon. So you can see more details of those drop-ins on our social media or website. And the other branch of what we do is providing information and advice. So that's what we're doing today with Boobs in Bury. And you can also get information and advice via telephone, WhatsApp, email, or on our website as well. We have quite a lot of information on there for you. So you can have a look at our website later today if you have time. So just ways we can support you if you are a parent or a new parent in Bury. So we can signpost you to local organisations. We can also provide information and advice about your child's healthcare, because we do cover children's healthcare services. So you have questions about maybe accessing GP services for your child, we can help you with that. And if you have an older child and you have questions about the vaccine, we have details of all those clinics that are ongoing at the moment. We can also listen to your experiences of using health and care services in Bury. So just quickly, here are our contact details. I have put these in the description of the video, but if you want to note them down now, our phone number is 0161 253 6300, WhatsApp +44 73 77 45 44 46. Our email is info@healthwatchbury.co.uk. You can follow us on Twitter, which is @HealthWatchBury, and on there we post information about events and other things going on in Bury. And this is our Facebook page, Healthwatch Bury. So if you haven't liked this page, please do so today, because we do regular live streams on here. And we also post about local events, training courses, voluntary opportunities, things like that. Our YouTube channel is Healthwatch Bury, and that's where we have our sort of back catalogue of live streams. So please check that out if you have time. And our website is healthwatchbury.co.uk. Thank you. So I am going to pass you over to Kimberly and Kerry from Boobs and Bury, and they are going to tell you more about what they do.
Thank you. I'm just going to show my screen. This one. Okay. So we are Boobs in Bury. Boobs in Bury is the sister project of Be Open on Breastfeeding Salford, which you may have heard of. We started in 2014 with Boobs Salford, and it's part of my social enterprise Visit from the Stalk CSE, which supports all parents across Greater Manchester. So Boobs Salford has been running since 2014, and we launched Boobs Bury actually in 2020, mid-pandemic, because it was a result of mums from Bury Borough coming to our events around Salford in 2018-19 to ask for support and information around breastfeeding, because they felt that there was no support in Bury Borough. So we have the same goals as we do in Salford. So we support mums and mums-to-be to feel confident breastfeeding and help them to achieve their breastfeeding goals through peer support, that's one-to-one peer support and group peer support, breastfeeding education through pregnancy and also through our socials, and marketing campaigns, which is our Boobs Approved campaign around breastfeeding in public. So again, this is a bit what we do. So we do one-to-one peer support. We hold monthly breastfeeding cafes. We have the Boobs Approved campaign, which signs venues up to be Boobs Approved and to be a safe space to feed the baby. We do pram walks now, and we also run antenatal sessions. Our mission really is to ensure that every mum should be able to have a happy, safe and comfortable breastfeeding journey, and with a chance to achieve her breastfeeding goals. And that might even be just to breastfeed for 2 weeks or for a month or for 6 months, or it could be to breastfeed as long as she wants to. And 80% of mums give up breastfeeding or stop breastfeeding before they want to, which is the reason why we do what we do. We want to increase the number of mums who breastfeed until they want to stop, and not because they have to stop because of other reasons. So our peer supporters, we've got a team of peer supporters across the Bury Borough who all work, they all work across Bury, and they're all trained by the ABM or Breastfeeding Together, which is another fellow social enterprise in Wigan. And we support our mums through different issues, such as position attachment, sore nipples and all sorts of things. And they're really, really good at supporting the mums, because they've all been there and done it. They've all got lived experience of being a breastfeeding mum. And we offer face-to-face appointments, and that might include a home appointment if the baby is under 6 weeks old. And we also offer face-to-face appointments across all our Boobs Approved venues, which are all a safe space for someone to go and feed in and have a one-to-one appointment. And we also launched web chat in 2020, which is on breastfeedingsalford.org.uk, and it's available at different times of the day. So have a look at our socials as to when it's available. Normally between 10 and 1, Monday to Friday. It might vary depending on our volunteers' availability, but you can leave a message anytime on our web chat, and it will send us an offline message to say that you need some support. So you can leave your name and your email anytime. And in 2020, we actually supported over 250 women on their breastfeeding journey across Salford and Bury. So recently, we've been funded by a very voluntary community-based called VCFA, and our pram walks are on the last Wednesday of the month in Radcliffe. The idea behind these pram walks is to get mums out of the house, because after the pandemic, they all said that they were socially isolated, and they wanted to meet more breastfeeding mums, and so it's to get mums out of the house and be active. So we walk around a local park in Radcliffe on the last Wednesday of the month at about 10 o'clock, and then we have an hour at soft plays for the kids to get active at Fuzzy Ed's currently, which is also in Radcliffe. So it's very funded particularly for the Radcliffe ward. We're hoping to launch another one maybe in Heaton Park later in the year as well. Our breastfeeding cafes are held on the last Friday of the month in one of our Boobs Approved venues across Bury. So we have various Boobs Approved venues, which are cafes or shops or leisure centres and soft play centres. And we hold a breastfeeding cafe in a chosen venue every month. It'll be a different venue every month as well. We provide refreshments, and it's a great way to make new friends who get it and have also all been there as well. So it's a social event that also has support available. So our Boobs Proof campaign was one of our main campaigns in Salford, and it was something that we've really focused on for many years. And it was so successful that when we launched in Bury, it was obviously something that we had to do because it really underpins all of our work. So our Boobs Proof campaign aims to create a network of safe spaces for women to breastfeed their baby in the local communities. It's all six parts of the borough in Bury. So we've got 28 venues in Bury so far. So we've got venues in Prestwich, Whitefield and Radcliffe. I think a couple in Bury Town Centre, but we need far more. So if you know of any venues that would be good to sign up, let us know. And these are all really local venues. So this picture is a cafe in Whitefield called Moonbeam Cafe, who actually contacted us on Facebook to sign up as well. So they literally just opened and they wanted to encourage more mums to their space. So they contacted us and they've now signed up. So the idea is that each venue offers a free welcoming space for mums to feed their baby. You don't have to purchase anything, even if it is a cafe. You don't have to purchase anything. You can just sit there and feed your baby and they will welcome you, hopefully give you a drink of water, make sure you're comfortable. And we know that most mums would buy something, but obviously it's not required. If your baby is really hungry and you're just in the town centre or whatever, you can just go in and you don't have to buy anything. Some venues also offer a discount to our Boobs members. So we've got a membership card here, and it's £15 for lifetime membership. That £15 is basically a donation to us. So what happens with that £15 is it goes into a pot, which is saved for any mums that need extra help for like an IBCLC. It goes into a pot and that gets saved for any mum that needs help. And then that membership card gets you exclusive discounts in our tier 2 venues. So Moonbeam, again, is one of our newest tier 2 venues. You offer 10% off basically on your bill if you've got a card. So, yeah. And finally, a few months ago, we started antenatal education. Now, the reason behind this was because the years that we've been spent in doing peer support and our own research told us that mums really wish they were more prepared in pregnancy and were told the right information during pregnancy and didn't have to just find it all out after birth. And so we've created a Basics of Breastfeeding 4-week really in-depth course with this lovely lady here, who is our peer support lead, and it covers the basics of breastfeeding, including different positions, how it all works, the scientific stuff about it. It also covers safe sleep, covers the 4th trimester, and most importantly, it also covers self-care through pregnancy and after birth, and like discussing the real expectations of what happens after birth and not all this lovey-dovey stuff. So what we found is feedback has been great so far. We've had 2 cohorts of 4 women, and I think pretty much all of them are still breastfeeding, hopefully.
Some of them are,
yeah.
We don't contact.
Yeah, and some of them reached out for support afterwards, which is what we wanted as well. So the idea is that you come on to our course and you're aware of the support right from the start. And then if you need support after birth, you can also always come back to us. You already know that you're part of our support network. So these courses are available for mums who are 30 weeks pregnant. It's completely free. And again, it's funded by the Big Lottery. Currently being held in Prestwich at a little studio called Maternal Matters, which is why it's only 4 people per session. But we're hoping also to find another bigger venue. So we'll have more word on that as well. Yeah. So I'm going to pass to Kerry. So the rest of our presentation is we're going to talk about some of the most common topics that we talk to mums about in our peer support. So some of that is milk supply, how do we know baby's getting enough, how breastfeeding actually works, and a little bit about breastfeeding.
Hello, my name's Kerry, and I am the lead peer supporter for Boobs in Bury and in Salford. It's a very extensive topic, so we're just going to touch on a few of the factors that will affect breastfeeding. for new mums. So we're talking first about how the hormones work, because a lot of mums want to know how much milk they're getting and how do they know they're going to get enough milk, and what's involved to do that. So initially it's saying here about that prolactin is the main milk making hormone, and that the rise in the level of prolactin once you give birth to your placenta lets your body know to start making milk. It does mention here that if you have cesarean section, that you may have some barriers to that milk maturing between days 1 and 3, but the colostrum that the mum produces is actually still very nutritious as the hormones, growth hormones that baby needs, and also the positive hormones of the oxytocin, which is both beneficial for the mum and baby. The prolactin is actually highest in the evening, so where mums feel like they should be sleeping and resting at night, evolution has actually said, well, no, in the old days we used to actually feed at night because of safety issues, but our evolution system hasn't actually changed to the new society we live in. So really, mums are really encouraged to get as much rest when babies get their rest, so then mum and baby can work together to increase the milk supply to meet the needs of the baby's growth and emotional and bonding needs. So the slide here says, do I know an oxytocin joke? Says, yeah, but it's a like that. Oxytocin is a love hormone, as it says there, and it says here that labour oxytocin help in labour, which helps reduce stress levels and contractions. So it's very important antenatally that mums can feel supported, listened to, that they've got a champion with them when they're in their most vulnerable stage of life, potentially, and feeling loved and secure and not vulnerable can help increase the levels of oxytocin, which is actually the hormone that helps let down the milk when the baby is suckling on the breast, or if there's lots of skin to skin contact, or just general stimulation by the mother or by another person. So there's another picture here that says what latching actually looks like. So you can see the actual nipple goes quite far into the back of the mouth, and therefore this fear that the baby's going to bite the nipple, if the position of attachment is most effective, then it will actually be that the nipple's at the back of the mouth and will not be getting bitten. So this is why we like to encourage a nice deep and effective latch, which we can do with different positions, even if there are issues that are being caused by engorgement or inverted nipples, or just generally not a great attachment. So we can rectify some of those problems. So it says here, you can hear a rhythmic swallowing. It's very quiet, so it's not a proper loud thing that you can hear, so you need to be quite carefully. No clicking, so it's a bit like a sound. The cheeks are rounded and not sucked in like this. The chin is touching the breast. So you see my dolly here. So I'm just going to put my dolly on. So I'm going to say it like this. So we want the baby close. We want the head free. So we don't want no things in the back of the head until the baby's actually touched on. We want the baby to be in line, the full body in line, instead of being bent round like that or like this, because the baby is not going to be comfortable. We want the nose to the nipple, and the reason for that being is the nose to the nipple, the baby is then going to put the head back, and then the mouth's going to be in the right place so we can see the top soft palate and then the baby's going to be quickly brought on to the breast, and the position we want it to be sustainable. And the acronym for that is CHINS, so it makes it easy to remember. If you take the baby off, or the baby comes off itself, the actual nipple ideally would be the normal shape it was as it was prior to baby going on. If there's a lipstick shaped nipple, then the potential is that the mum's going to get sore and that there's some adjustments needed to the position and attachment of the baby or the comfort of the mother, because some of the common reasons why babies struggle to feed is actually because the baby's not comfy.
Yeah.
So how do we know that baby is getting enough? So it's very common for mums to worry about, I can't see what baby's getting, and how many mils is this baby getting? Ultimately, we need to be hopeful that the baby's settled during the feed when the baby's on the feed, not keep pulling off and fussing, or only having really short feeds. I'm talking about 1 to 2 minutes, and also, are they putting on weight, and have they got a good wee and poo output, and are they too sleepy? If they're too sleepy and they're going longer than 3 to 4 hours, then maybe we should be picking the baby up and putting the baby on the breast, because most babies off of the breast will take a feed, even if they've just had a feed within the last half an hour. And babies need regular feeding between 2 to 3 hours the first few weeks. And yes, all babies are different, and you'll find some that will deviate from that range. But ultimately, you're looking at the responding to the baby's feeding cues and getting to know your baby. So here we have when to seek support. So we've got visit from the stroke, CRC, which is our company, with sister company, and we have lots of social media websites, and we also have our own website, which we'll talk about in a while. There's Home Starts, Citizens Advice, Maternal Rights, ACAS, Pregnant and Scrooge, and then there's also, you might need some infant feeding support. So you would actually go to your local hospital to get access. We have, like, there's Manchester Infant Feeding Team, and we have access to these resources on our own website under support. And on our website, we'll also have a web chat box where mums can literally just click on, speak to us directly if we're on with our volunteers, or it might be that you leave us a message and we're getting back to us very promptly within the 12 hours.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
I want to talk a little bit about the antenatal classes as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of mums have been coming to us and saying, I'm so glad that you have your antenatal classes, because there's not very much out there at all. And these mums are going to their health professionals and saying, is it going to be painful when I breastfeed? Well, it shouldn't be painful to breastfeed, except for the first 2 seconds. It might just be uncomfortable when you feel the first letdown. So no, it shouldn't hurt. So if it's hurting, we need to look at what interventions we can put in place to help mums not have the pain, or minimize that pain until they've had proper professional assessment, because some babies do have medical or physical reasons why they're finding it difficult to feed properly. So the antenatal classes are also to build confidence to mums, help them be their own advocate and champion, because there's quite a lot of people in society out there that say that, why breastfeed? It's hard work, you should be resting, when actually biologically and evolutionarily we're not. We want to be responsive to our children and our families, whether they're newborns or whether they are toddlers or 4-year-olds. We're all trying to, work as a team, as a community, to try and give the best nutrients, the best hormones, the best love and the best immune support for our babies and children. And then eventually the benefits will really, help them when they become adults.
Cool. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I learned a lot about breastfeeding there, and I'm sure everyone else did as well. So I'll just hand you over to Steph, who's going to be hosting the Q&A.
Hi, I thought an additional question while you were giving the presentation. So just a quick I've got 5 quick questions. First one is, obviously there's a lot of misinformation and with social media and online, and some people can get sucked into misinformation. So where would you say would be the best place for mums to be, our new parents and families? Where would be the best possible place for them to get reliable information about breastfeeding?
Yeah, I'll answer this one. So one of the best resources really is the NHS, the actual NHS website. You can look up different things about breastfeeding. It's got things about basics of breastfeeding, about when to seek support. It's not got anything about positions on it, but I think it's got basic information, which is very useful. We always direct people to the ABM, which is the Association of Breastfeeding Mothers. So they've got a lot of information on their website, but they've also got some leaflets that are available as well. They cover everything from colostrum right through to expressing, combi feeding, stopping breastfeeding. They've got lots of different information. We always use those as a resource in our classes and events. The NCT charity also has some good information about breastfeeding. It also has some information about things like baby cues, like feeding cues, which is always really, really good information to understand what your baby is signaling and telling you, and what signs they're showing that they're hungry. We post a lot of information on our own social media, so we provide facts and information on our social media and on our website. And there's also 2 IBCLCs that we follow that we would recommend to people. So Lucy Ruddle, she's down south, she's an IBCLC. That is an international, it's a lactation consultant, basically certified lactation consultant. And Professor Amy Brown has written a lot of books, and she's a professor in breastfeeding, and she's an expert from Swansea University. So have a look at her pages. So yeah, those are just the few of the pages that we use as the basis of our breastfeeding. They're all evidence-based information resource that people can find out. And yeah, it's always best to come to someone that's trained and professional if you have questions or doubts. Obviously, you can ask friends and you can ask family for their experiences within that's their personal experience. So it's always best to come to a peer supporter like our team who have got lived experience, but they've also got that knowledge and professional training as well.
Thank you. The next question is, you mentioned that you've got, well, firstly, I noticed on your website that you've got 100 Boobs approved venues in Salford. You've got quite a few in Bury. So, say if there's any like business owners in Bury, other business owners who are watching this today, and they're interested in becoming a Boobs approved venue, how do they, what's the process of becoming a Boobs approved venue? How can businesses get involved if you want to support the Boobs movement?
Obviously, we'd love more venues to come up and sign up as a Boobs approved venue. So best way to do that will probably be to message the Boobs and Bury Facebook page, and one of the team will get back to you, take your email address, and we'll send you an email with all the information that you need. But basically, you just need to provide a welcoming space for a mum and maybe have a chair or like a little space in your cafe that you could give people basically. And you don't have to be a cafe, you could be a shop, you could be a leisure centre, you could be a restaurant, any sort of venue in Bury that would be interested. And yeah, message us on our Facebook page or email rachel@breastfeedinginsalford.org.uk. She's our project manager and she's in charge of signing the venues up. And then me, Kerry or Rachel will come and sign you up basically, which involves a visit. And you get a lovely pack, which I have here. Hang on. Get one of these packs, which contains a poster, which would look like this, which you need to put in your venue, and it contains a sticker, which I don't have in here, but it contains a sticker which has this bit on it, which is for your window. And the only things that you would need to do would be to display those things, and also teach your staff about policies as well. And that's it. That's that simple to get signed up. So just contact us on our Facebook page and we'll get you sorted.
And obviously, this is a question I thought of while you were doing your presentation. Obviously, there's some people in society, you know, who are against people breastfeeding in public. So, do you think since the invention of the Boobs, like movement, Salford, you know, in Bury, do you think that will help change people's attitudes and perceptions towards people breastfeeding in a public space?
Well, I hope so. So since we've been doing the Boobs Approved campaign in Salford, breastfeeding rates in Salford have actually increased by 3%. So I think that's quite a good indication that perceptions are changing already. But also under the Equality Act 2010, women have the right to breastfeed anywhere, in any space, anyway. So we're not doing anything special to create that. It's just that's the law anyway. So women have the right, whether there's a boob sticker there or not. It's just that from the mum's perception, those spaces are particularly welcoming, and it means that if anyone does have an issue with breastfeeding, that the staff have been trained to say, well, actually, that person can leave and you don't have to. So it's just about that is creating a safer space, and people should just ignore someone breastfeeding. If they don't like it, they should just walk away. But yeah, under the Equality Act, anyone can breastfeed anyway. So we're not doing anything special or saying you have to breastfeed in these venues. It's just that's it. That's the law. So
I think that our company is allowed to be a person to peer support a mum who might have never breastfed in public before, because it is an intimate thing that you're doing with your baby, and it's a body part that you might be feeling quite conscious about exposing. So we go into the venues with the mums as peer supporters, and that's their first experience to feel supported and they feel more comfortable. So any future outgoings into the public, they don't need a peer support. It's like, right, okay, I've done this. Yeah, I feel comfortable doing this, and this is what me and my baby need to do. And we can just get on with our lives wherever it is, because it's normal.
Thank you. In your presentation, you mentioned that you do regular pram walks in Ratcliffe, and you're hoping to introduce more. But have you got any other local events coming up in Bury, whether it be virtual or in person?
Yeah, next Friday, the 28th of January, we've got our first cafe at Moonbeam. So our booth breastfeeding cafe at Moonbeam Cafe. There's a couple of tickets left. Next week's pram walk is on Wednesday. I mean, the tickets say they're sold out, but it means outside, so there's not really a limit of people. So if you want to come to the pram walk, you can always just message us. And yeah, our cafe is next Friday, and then it'll be again next month, the last Wednesday of the month and the last Friday of the month. So.
And finally, if anyone wants to get in touch with you from this presentation today, or whatever, to find about a bit more information, what's the best way for people to get in contact with Boobs in Bury or Boobs in Salford or whatever?
So we've got Facebook and Instagram, so facebook.com/Boobs Boobs in Bury. I think. Hopefully that's correct. And Instagram.com/boobsinbury also, or Facebook.com/breastfeeding in Salford. The website is breastfeedinginsalford.org.uk. There is a very specific page with a map of all our venues on, and a map and like a link to all our support specifically in Bury. Over the night, you can contact Rachel if you need some support. You can contact Rachel. Her number is 07426 835 535. I didn't do a slide with that on, so if you could put it in the description, Catherine, that would be useful. But yeah, Facebook and Instagram are probably the easiest way to get in touch with us.
Can I also mention the websites and TikTok, and Instagram and Facebook? We all have educational material on there. It's either in slides or in videos. I'm on quite a few of them, showing about breastfeeding positions, talking about poo song, and lots of other things about breastfeeding pillows, how to use one, which you think using a pillow, that's easy, but when you're trying to position your baby onto breast effectively, there is actually a better way of doing it.
Our TikTok is not actually boobs because the word boobs is banned from TikTok, so it's under the Visit from the Stalk CIC TikTok page. That is the link to TikTok. But if you check out our Instagram, we've got reels of Kerry doing those said things as well.
Thank you for your time, and obviously thank you for joining me and those. I have no more questions. I don't know if anyone has any questions in the chat or anything.
Thank you, Steph. It's been great.
Thank you.
So there are no further questions. So I just want to say thank you to Kerry and Kimberly for joining us today and telling us more about Boobs in Bury and all the work that they're doing. Thank you to Steph for joining us today as well and assisting with the Q&A. So I'll just end the live stream now, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.